So today I wanted to do my current favourites, but a bit different way. I want to do like a full face, so I'm actually applying my favourites so you see how they work. I'm starting off after I've finished my makeup because the first three products that I want to talk about, I want to tell you a bit more about it and it'll be difficult while I'm actually applying it. And you are going to hate me, please don't hate me, because these products are expensive. But I also want you to know that I've thought about it for a long time, watched lots of reviews, and I've ordered samples like I always do. So it was very careful choice. And what I'm talking about is Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation and Giorgio Armani Maestro UV Skin Defense Primer. And I would never, like I said, ask you to spend money on anything before you try it, because you know, especially foundations is such personal choice. Because I like it doesn't mean you are going to like it. My skin right now, let me just tell you, is sort of normal with tiny bit of I can get a bit oily in a T-zone. So what I did, like I do, because they colouring system is very complicated. It goes, you know, it's numbers, and it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 3, you get 3.25, you get 3.5, you get 3.75, and then you get 4. Sephora is very good to look at the colors, because Sephora next to the color always describes the color, if it's neutral, yellow, warm, cool. So I've ordered three samples from eBay. The first one was in 5.5, which is a, I think, medium skin tone with neutral undertones. So let me show you that. So it's like a true beige, so that's 5.5. I put it on. You know, I like my foundations to be a bit more yellow. I don't know, it looked a bit greyish to me, okay? So then I thought, okay, 5.5, I try 4, okay? I thought it's only 1.5 lighter. Well, 4, it's light with yellow undertones. I don't have much to get it out for you. So this is 4, okay? It's very light and it's got yellow undertone. So I thought, okay, that's too light. 4 is too light, so I ordered 5. I don't have it here, I don't understand why. Maybe I've thrown it away. I've ordered 5, and you would think 5 would be darker than 4, but no, it was lighter. It was sort of light as well, but it had neutral undertones. The 4 looked lighter than this. Can you see how pinky this one is looking, like a pinky grey, the 5.5? But if you use that sort of colors, then you will like it, but that's not for me. Okay, so 5 wasn't good. Okay, so I thought, right, I go and order 6. So I've been ordering these samples like over a space of time. I thought I ordered 6. So I've ordered 6. Look how much 6 is darker than 5. If you imagine that 5 is very similar to 4. That's your 6. Okay, it's yellow, which I like, but it was too dark for me. So I thought, I don't know, maybe those 0.75, 0.25 would be good, but I almost felt like there is no color for me. So I thought, yes, love this color. It's a bit too dark, but it'd be brilliant for the summer. So I've ordered that. I love this foundation so much, and I will talk through it a bit more while I'm applying it, that I bought another one, and that means a lot. If I bought 2 expensive foundations just to get the right color, so I got the 5. Oh, I've got the 5. What am I on about? Okay, so 5 is here. As you can see, it's lighter than 4, which is ridiculous. But now, and 5 is neutral as well, but this is very yellow, this is neutral and light. When I mix this together, depends what depth of color I want, I get the perfect color. So I am happy about it because obviously it will last me twice as long because I have 2 bottles and I can adjust the color. So I know that I will be able to use the 6 on its own in a summer. I probably will never be able to use 5 on its own, but in a winter I can add just tiny bit of 6, whereas now I sort of mix them half-half, and that gives me perfect color, and you will see it in a minute. So that's me justifying to myself and to you I bought it. I love it, love it, love it. It is not a full coverage foundation. It says it's light to medium. I think you can build it up to a very good medium. It has got slight luminosity, but no, doesn't look greasy. Looks like second skin. I love it. And then I bought the Maestro Skin Defense Primer because it's got SPF 50 in it. And I often think that you should probably use primer from the same company that you use foundation from, because they obviously made with ingredients that work together. This got a bit of a silicone feel to it. It is milk. It's like white milk with a dropper, but it's got very slippery feel to it. You don't need much, you need tiny 1 drop. And I wanted it, well, I wouldn't have bought it, but I bought it, was a House of Fraser or John Lewis. They had a sale on, they had promotions, so it cost me less, you know, money. I probably wouldn't have bought that otherwise. This got antioxidants as well. This doesn't have any amazing skincare ingredients, but it has antioxidants in it, and SPF 50. So I thought, you know, I will put that instead of moisturizer because it is quite slippery. And so far, so good. I like it. But you know, you don't have to buy this if you have a good SPF, then, because of course this doesn't have any SPF. So yes, so let's get into the demo now. Okay, so let's start with the Giorgio Armani Maestro UV Primer. Okay, so I'm going to mix now the 5 and 6, the Luminous Silk Foundation. I just squeeze 1 pump of, well, 1.5 of 6 and 3/4 of the 5. So as you can see, I will mix them on my hand, and that gives me perfect color then. And what I do then, I just spread it on my face. I take my Real Techniques sponge or a beauty blender, whichever you have. And I don't know if you can see, maybe it's a bit too bright. How it really evens out your skin. It is not full coverage. I use 2 layers because, and I feel safe to put it under my eyes just lightly, because it is not thick, it is not very cakey foundation. Okay, so that's 1 layer. And you know, I do like full coverage foundations, but like I've said before, as I'm getting older, I still wear them like for a night out, but they can look a bit cakey on more mature skin, and I wanted something that would cover my face, would make it look nice and even, but not to look too heavy. So this, I would say, well, you see, full coverage foundation, it's a term that I'm using loosely because I think full coverage means different things to different people. It depends how much you've got to cover. I feel I've got quite a lot to cover because, as you know, I've got all these discolorations. That's what I don't like about my face. But I don't have scars or any big blemishes to cover. So to me, full coverage usually means quite heavy and cakey foundation, and that's not always a good look. I love this because, I don't know if you can see, it hasn't covered everything. I still see my spots, but when I put the next layer, it will be even better. But I feel like it's even out my skin, but my skin looks like skin. It doesn't look like I have foundation. So I'm going to do another layer, because you can definitely build it up without it looking quite cakey. And on the instructions, it says to use it with a brush. I didn't like it with a brush at all. I much prefer it with a beauty blender, maybe because I think, I don't know, when you pattern it like this, you get better coverage. I don't know, but I prefer it with the beauty blender or any of those, you know, makeup sponges that you have. So I would say that's giving me a medium coverage, and I am happy with the way the foundation looks. It's slightly luminous. It's not matte, it's not too luminous. It's just, I feel like it looks like my moisturized skin, but with some coverage. Now, I still like my face to look a bit more even, so I will do something else, you will see in a minute. But let's do concealer. Now, I don't really have this month's favorite concealer. You know that my all-time favorite, well, all-time, for a very long time, has been the Urban Decay Naked Skin, and I have medium light. And I only use this one in my bag area, because if you are going to use much lighter concealer, you mustn't use it just on your bag, because that will just bring your bag forward. Also, if you have darkness there under your eye, if you put something really light, it's going to make it grey. It's going to make it like you've been punched in the eye, or like you have a bruise. So if you have a very dark, you should use corrector, you know, peachy color concealer first, and then brighten it up. So I do have a bit of darkness, but I don't feel that I need to correct every day. So this color, the medium light neutral, is very similar to my skin color, to my foundation. That's why I put it right under my eye, you know, on the bag. And then with the lighter one, I go and do the highlighting triangle. And I put it on my eye as well. And I will rub it, pat it, whatever. I'll probably put even too much of it here. Making silly faces while I'm at it. Do you do that? Like, ah. And I always use this concealer on my nose. You know, if you've watched me for any length of time, that my nose repels foundation, but I think it is a case with a lot of people. My nose is quite red, and also I think we scratch our noses and touch our noses, so I always put a bit on my nose. Okay, so that's the bag concealed, and now I'm going to do the highlighting. Now, so I have plenty of all sorts of concealers, and I like them all. So like I said, I don't have like, the Urban Decay would be like my favorite. I've got the lighter one in that as well, but that one is really light. I have to mix it with something. So I will use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in number 10, which is a bit lighter. And with that, I go in a triangle, but I don't go with that right under my eye. And I show you, I blend it upwards, but the majority of it is gonna stay below my bag. I might put a bit more on my nose. Never too much concealer on your nose. Okay, so now when I start blending this out, I start down the bottom, and I'm staying under the bag, and with now with whatever is left, I go closer to my eye. So what I basically have done, even though this is not a corrector, but because I've used a dark and neutral color to neutralize the darkness, now over it I can go with something brightening. Again, I stay mostly under the bag, almost go onto my cheek, and then with whatever left I go now all over. Okay, so that's how I would do my base. Now, my next favorite thing, I am in love with those powders, and you've seen me just showing them to you. I found them through, they are quite difficult to get in the UK, but I found a website that you can buy it from. You can get it in the US, no problem, at the Senna Mineral Mix Advanced Mineral Makeup Pressed Cover and Finish Foundation. So these are Mineral Mix powder foundations, and I have one in medium and I have one in light, and the light one is a bit more yellow, I would say. I mean, they are not very dark at all. This one is very light. Soon I won't be able to use it when I have a bit more tan. That would be like my highlighting one then, and I would have to get, I'm seriously thinking of getting the other colors as well. So remember, they are not very dark at all, but I use this for a bit of more coverage and to set my makeup. You know, I have been using loose powders here and there, depends what I'm using, you know, but I love these powders. So I've never used them as a foundation on their own. I have to try that actually. I only ever use mineral loose powders as foundations, but this thing, I swear you can like cake it on and it doesn't look cakey. It's got luminosity to it. The only thing is, I don't think it would keep you matte. So you might have to set with translucent powder your T-zone, but this powder is beautiful. So what I'm going to do, they come with a sponge, or you can use a brush. I mean, if you wanted just light dusting, I've got this Bare Minerals Full Flawless Face brush. You could go just with the brush. I might actually do that. And I'm not going round and round because I don't want to take the foundation. I'm just very lightly pulling it down. So with the medium I go on the perimeters of my face, and with the light I will go in the middle. So that was with the brush. Let me take the sponge, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom it. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, me applying it, and you can see the coverage, but it just does not look cakey. It doesn't look like I've packed on powder. That's what I think anyway. And it has this luminous look to it. Not shiny, not highlighty, but it's not flat. And while I'm here, let me use the light one in the middle of my face. I will use it more in the middle because where I would highlight. So I have this, I don't know if you can see, but I don't feel like I can see this powder. Just my face just looks really, I don't know, so even, matte but not flat, if you know what I mean. It's almost like it blurs your lines and everything. I tell you actually what is the best thing to apply this powder with that I found, but I can't use it now because I've washed it and it's wet and I don't want to use it wet. This is MAC's Beauty Sponge. One side is the kind of beauty blender one that you can do your foundation, and this side has a I don't know, like a little hairy sort of powder puff side. You won't be able to see it very well. You can see it's white because it's wet. I've just washed it, so I can't use it. But that applies this beautifully, and this is £6. from MAC. They do one that it doesn't have the powder puff side, it's just all the sponge. But this, I absolutely love to apply this powder, but like I said, I can't do it with it right now because it's wet. Buff it off. Yeah, these powders are too light now. I can see my face is now lighter than my neck. So, but they will be perfect for winter. So I'm thinking to get the darker ones as well. I absolutely love this powder. I don't know if I've ever loved pressed powder as much. Okay, now I am going to bronze my face, and I am not going to do any contouring. I think when the summer comes and I get a bit darker, contouring is redundant. I just like looking bronzed. So my new love is the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer in Bronze. This is the new summer collection. The packaging is adorable. It's absolutely adorable. And this is the bronzer. You would think it's very dark. I would say it's not too orange, it's not too cool. It's just perfect bronzer. It's so soft and silky. So that's the swatch, and it looks very dark in a pan, but it's not that dark. They do a lighter one as well, I think. So what I do then, sorry I can't tell you what this brush is it's eBay brush from China that I bought ages ago, and I quite like it for bronzes. So I'm just gonna put it in there, and you will see that it is not one of those that it will leave you with a blob of bronze. You can see the color going on. It's very smooth. It's just beautiful. I love it. And I'm not contouring, but I'm going, you know, onto my cheeks, just bronzing the outside of my face. I would say, you know, I know I've done the video on contouring, and it's fine to do it, but it's not something that I do religiously every day. I might just put a bit of bronzer under my cheekbone because I don't have any cheekbones. Well, they are somewhere there. I've got quite a flat face. But yeah, I just don't bronze in the middle. I like to look quite bright. Not yet anyway, not this time of year. So it's a beautiful, a very natural looking bronzer. It is matte, but it is very silky. Like I said, you know, if you looked at that, you think, gosh, that is dark, but you can see on my face, this is not dark at all. And it's very buildable, so, which I prefer, you know. Sometimes when something is too pigmented, you stick it on your face and that's it. You can't do anything about it. Now for the blush. I have quite a few blushes, and I don't know, I don't pay that much attention to a blush in the respect of how long does it stay on my face and all this. I don't know, I just get drawn on to colour. I like all the Makeup Geek blushes, but I keep going back to the Max Factor Cream Puff Blush in Gorgeous Berries. Love this blush. I use it so often, and of course now you know that in the US, because CoverGirl is the same as Max Factor, and they do have very similar products, if not the same, just in different packaging. So they've just come out with the True Blend blush from CoverGirl, and these are like, let me open it because these are like exactly the same. Can you see? Obviously the marbling will be a bit different because it is baked. And this one is called Deep Mauve. So the CoverGirl True Blend is the exact dupe. And in fact, let me do one cheek with one with the other. So now I will take, so I'm taking the Max Factor first. Did I ever tell you that I'm like the worst person to teach you how to put blush on? I don't think I do it right. I don't know how to do it. It might be to do with the fact that I've got no cheeks. Okay, so I've cleaned off the brush and I'm going to take the CoverGirl and do it on this side. Exactly the same, perform the same. I might say that maybe the Max Factor is more pigmented, but that could be purely to the fact that, you know, the darker veins are a bit thicker than here, so, but looks exactly the same. So that was my blush. You know that I use highlighters just here on the top of my cheeks, but I like this area of my face to be very brightened. So I use these things that could be highlighters, but to me they are more face illuminators, and to me that's different than highlighter. So my latest purchase is the Laura Mercier Highlight 01. It's the matte radiance baked powder in 01. All-time favorite, Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana, and the NewLook Pure Color baked highlighter in gold, I think they call it. And I use these all for the same purpose. So let me use this one for example. Again, it's an old TG brush, so I can't tell you what it is till I find something similar, but I love that for this purpose. And I basically just go almost like on this bit. So when you move, it almost highlights this bit of it. I mean, don't put it too, I'm looking at myself. Don't put it too low. Put it where you smile and where up of your cheek would be, because if you highlight it, that will bring it forward, so it gives you this illusion of fuller cheek. You can use this as a highlighter, as a very subtle highlighter. So I do that with this, or with the Reserve Your Cabana, or with this, with the Laura Mercier. But if I want a subtle highlight as well, I will bring it up here. Now I always highlight a bit, and my favorite highlighters lately have been, I haven't talked to you about this, but I will do a look with it and like a review. Carmen sent me this, is the BH Cosmetics Carli Baybel palette, and it's the palette with eyeshadows, and you have highlighters here. I mean, I don't think they have names, no. I mean, this one is more like a very shimmery bronzer, this one is gold. I love this one, the second lightest, it's beautiful. Oh no, I forgot to use something else. So that's what I do first before I do highlight. Now for the highlight, so as you saw, I didn't bake or set under my eyes because I forgot. That's what happens when you talk it through. So let me quickly just put tiny bit of my banana powder under my eye, because obviously I didn't put that powder foundation under there. I wouldn't put it under my eyes. But I need to set it because, you know, it will crease like crazy. So I'm not baking, I'm just taking tiny bit just to set it quickly. Sorry, I should have done that before. So as you know, the banana powder is one of my favorites. And then if I want like this really bright look under my eye, I will top it off with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening. Okay, let's go back to that. So I'm going to use the second lightest one, and you know what I've been using, because you can overdo it with a highlighter. I have to be very careful not to go too much into your pores or into your lines too. So I've been using very small brush, and this is actually eye brush from Morphe M504. I find it too huge for my eye, so I've been using it for my highlighter. And it's so little, so I just put it where I want it and I buff it right in. Buff your highlighter in, especially if they are highlighters, you just sit on your skin, you know, don't melt with the skin, but these are amazing. Okay, let me just tell you another thing with the thing that I'm doing here. If you have really big pores, open pores, don't do it because it will emphasize your pores. I have some pores, but I don't feel they are that big yet that, you know, I can still get away with it. Okay, I forgot to tell you as well that with the Senna powder, I set my eye. Can you see my concealer has creased here now? So I'm gonna rub it, and I set it with the Senna powder as well. And that would be my base. So now I will do my eyebrows, but I will do them off camera because it's gonna be too long. But you already know that I like lots of brow pencils, as long as they are, you know, this type like Brow Wiz, although Brow Wiz is not that good. I like, this is the NYX micro brow pencil, and this is, oh, this one is in ash brown, and this is the Clinique superfine liner for brows in 0 to soft brown. So I will go off now and to my eyebrows because I already have an eyebrow tutorial. So, oh yes, and I love using the Brow Artist Plumper from L'Oreal. Mine for some reason is in a funny tube because they come in dark tubes now, but this one is in light medium. Okay, so my brows are done. Now on to eyes. I love most of the palettes that I have and I've done reviews with, but my latest favorite will be always my latest palette, and this is the chocolate bonbons. I wasn't too taken by the peanut butter one or the peach one. I don't know, because I haven't seen them in real life. Maybe if I saw it in real life I would love them, but I knew that this was my type of colors, and I have done just one or couple of tutorials with this palette. So today I will do like an everyday look. Let me show you how I would do like an everyday look. So I will take the satin sheets first, oops, which is like a shimmery champagne, and I will put it on my mobile lid. This nice shimmery shadow, but not like foiled, you know. I'm sure you can get it more intense if you wet it, the shadow. I haven't tried that. Now to brighten that look, I will take Divinity, which is the matte cream one, and I will put it just in the middle. You know, I like doing that to open up to make my mobile lid bigger. I just wanted to show you that for this look you just need like 2 brushes. Flat brush, like I've got here Sigma E55, and the other one that I've used, but it's a bit dirty because I did exactly the same makeup yesterday, but I can just, right, and this is Sigma E25, and I just used 2 brushes for this look. So the first eyeshadow I will take is Almond Truffle, and I will put it just above my crease. So I'm holding, you see the brush is sort of flattish. Is it focusing or not? So I go the flat side to apply it, and then I turn the brush and blend it out slightly. So that's why I just need 1 brush. Those shadows are beautiful, go on so lovely. Now I will take Mocha, which is matte brown. So mostly I did it with matte eyeshadows apart from that first shimmery one. And with this one I will concentrate just on a from the middle to the outer V, and in like a circular motions I will shade a bit this corner as well. This palette is fabulous because you can do, you know, really every day. You could leave it like this now, everyday look, or you can really go to town with it. So if you are using look like this, that you're going from lighter to darker, you can always just use one brush. And now I'm going to go into Bordeaux, which is a Bordeaux color, funny enough. And with this one I will concentrate just on the outer V here. And as you can see, I'm not trying to make it sharp, or it's a quite a diffused look, and I go like in circular motions. And of course you can build it up to the depth that you want. And now I'm going to mix the Mocha and Bordeaux. Actually no, Mocha and Almond Truffle, because Bordeaux might be too dark. And with the same brush, I'm just gonna sweep it under my lash line, because it is not very dark, it's quite diffuse. I don't have to be very precise, just to create that shadow. Am I dipping it up? You know me. To me that doesn't look like makeup. To me this is, I don't know, I like it darker. You know me. Okay, let's stop there. Now, again, not to be, you know, to make it a bit of a softer look, take one of these liner brushes or eyebrow brush, and I'm going to go to dark truffle, which is the darkest brown. I will wet my brush a bit, and I will just make a very thin line. Always stretch your eye if you are over 30. So I'm just making a line, and it's just not too harsh because it's not done with gel liner or kohl pencil. But to intensify it, you need to wet the brush. Okay, so as you can see, I only put it on a top of my lash line, but I can very slightly just wing it out. And because it is so soft, being an eyeshadow, you don't have to be that precise. You know, I like a bit of a wing, but you don't have to do the wing at all. You can even smudge it. And that's it. So that's why I love this palette, because I can make this quick, everyday look with it, or I can, and I love all the colors in it. Now, my favorite mascaras haven't changed. Is the Benefit Roll Lash Mascara or the Kiko Ultra Tech. Love them both, and I've loved them for a long time, so it is not a surprise to you on any news. So this would be it for my favorite everyday look, but I cannot go without mentioning my very favorite eyelashes, and I have few favorite. Look where I keep my eyelashes now. Do you remember? I think I've Instagrammed it. I wanted like a weekly peel box, but I didn't realize that this one was for horses. It's huge. Well, I suppose if you have lots of vitamins and tablets to take, but I only have 2 a day. But this was so huge, so I've decided to keep my lashes in it. and I bought myself a little round one for my pills. So okay, digressing. I cannot not mention the Isle Fleur de Force 3/4 lash, because these are like my favorite lashes, even for every day. They give you that something extra, but they don't look too false, and if you don't have good lashes, that will really, you know, bring your eyes out. So I'm going to put them on just to show you. I'm sure you've seen me. These really need cleaning. I'm going to do soon actually a video all about lashes application, removal, cleaning, because I get so many questions. It's funny because I've been using lashes for years and I assume everybody knows this stuff, but obviously there is so many of you that are new to it or never used lashes and don't know all the ins and outs. So I will do a little video on that. So yeah, I love them because they are 3/4, they are not too long, they are very fluttery, and you wouldn't even know that I was wearing false lashes. They are so beautiful. So can you see they give you that extra darkness around your eyes, define your eye, but they are not too long, they are not in your face, they are just beautiful. I love them. And I know that they are not easy, or they don't stock them in the US, but I think if you try ASOS.com, I think they might be doing them there, and they ship internationally. So if you want to, I will check for you, and I will, you know, all the products will be, and the links, if I find links to US and UK, I always do it, I put it all in the description box. So if I find them on any website that ships to US, I will put US and that link. So okay, so here are my lashes. Now the lips. Okay, you know I love my nude lip, but you obviously just have seen my review of the Ofra liquid lipstick, and I've been in love with it. Please remember that if you like the moisturizing creamy feeling on your lips, you will never like it, even though I think it's one of the best liquid matte lipsticks around. But if you're not the person that likes that sort of thing, you will not like it. So just so you know that. Also, even though it has vitamin E and antioxidants, I think if you wear it all the time, especially with mature lips, it will dry them out. But I have been loving them, and especially one of them which is called Pasadena, which is the darkest out of 3 that I have. I didn't think I would like it, but I find it such a lovely polished look, easy to wear. I know that if I put it on in the morning and I go out, I will still have it on. And like I have shown you in the review, you don't need lip liners with these, because you know you can make a lip line with the actual wand and it will stay there. But if you have smaller lips or your lip line is not very defined, mine is not very defined, I actually feel like I've got my natural lip line missing here. And in the summer it's a nightmare, because you know I have melasma and it brings up all the sunspots. I actually get a freckle lip line, natural freckle lip line around my lips. I will have like this brown lip line, but only to here. I will have nothing there, and I have a bit of a discoloration here, if you can see. Let's hope that retin-A will take care of that. So sometimes I will still put the lip liner just so I see where my line is. It's a bit easier. So I'm going to use Maxo, which is one of my favorite lip liners. I can use it with so many lipsticks. I can use it with nude lipstick. I just fill my lips tiny bit and I smudge it, and it makes the nude lipstick a bit darker. You can use it with so many things, but this goes really well with the Ofra Pasadena. Yeah, I definitely don't have very good line there, one that I can really see. And again, if you didn't see this review, I will link it. And also I found a UK site that sells it because Ofra is quite difficult to get here. Okay. It goes on so lovely and creamy, you wouldn't know it's a matte lipstick. I like to put a couple of layers. I just love it. So this is not dry yet, you see it looks quite shiny, but once it dries it's matte, but it's so soft and comfortable. Hair is not very good today, but it's a second day hair. Okay, my lovelies, I think that's it. These are the things that have been my absolute favorites for a while now. And you know, I don't want you to think, I always say it about skincare, about makeup, about anything. If some things were my favorites 2 or 3 months ago, that doesn't mean I don't like them anymore. But as we discover new things, you know, they become our favorites for that particular time. So I know this was long, but I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you prefer me to do favorites. Well, I probably wouldn't do all favorites this way. I did it because of the foundation, and I could have done separate review of the foundation, but I thought this would be much more fun and I can chat to you. Okay, so I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you soon. Bye.